Hi all! Today we're going to be talking about how we are using tech tools for my 4th grade art class as they create graphic design images. So we're going to talk about graphic design, and we are going to first start with a Padlet where they can define graphic design to their best ability and give an example of where they have seen the use of graphic design. Then they will be doing a Kahoot where they take a quiz and they ask the solve questions about graphic design. And then finally, they're going to use this website called Canva, which is a great starter website on how to create graphics and just like make posters and all these really cool web-based programs. So for this project, the big idea and the essential question kind of come into how do you explore graphic design through different programs. I know that I personally use Photoshop, but the kids don't have access to Photoshop, so Canva is a great alternative for this. And they're going to learn the fundamentals and the start of graphic design all the way up to making their own graphics. And our essential questions tie into all of this, as in graphic design and how it conveys a message, what programs you use and how that affects the outcome, as well as does the context and culture inspire graphic design. So if we live somewhere else in the world, would our graphic design concepts be different, or would they be the same? And we're just going to explore those ideas. The first one, the first tech tool that we're going to use is a Padlock. So a Padlock is a great way for you to get the opinions of a student. So right here I have mine started. What is graphic design? You're explaining what graphic design is, and you're giving at least one example. You would hit the plus sign over here, and then you can type in your answer. It's really great. You could comment on other people's answers and maybe get inspired by others. If we come over here and then go back to our other programs, there's Kahoot, which is a really fun one, and it's a great quiz website. And I found a Kahoot that has all questions about graphic design. So you would go to Kahoot, you put in your name, and you can go ahead and start. So I'm just going to call myself Artie because this is our art class. I hit OK, go. There's only 9 questions in it. It's just a good way to see some examples of what graphic design is, define it, and all these fun things. And you would go through these 9 questions. It's student run, so you don't have to worry about waiting for me. You can go ahead and just hop right in for this one. So that's another great program that will help with the whole graphic design unit. And I'm coming back here, and our last one is Canva, which is I think the most complex out of the technology, but also super fun. So when you go to the Canva website, there's all these options, but because we're talking about graphic design and I wanted to keep it in a contained style of art, we're going to work on creating a poster, and the poster can just display your knowledge of graphic design. When you're done, you're able to download it, and then you can go ahead and submit it through Google Classroom or through email. And so there's a bunch of different options here. It's free to use unless you get into like the nuts and bolts of the website, and you would come to poster, and they have a bunch of options already pre-programmed in. There are templates that you can start from. You can take the text right from it. You can create your own text. You can make a bunch of customizations, so you just pick one. You just have to make sure they're free. Some are paid, and then you can go ahead and you can drop in graphics, you can drop in photos, you can do elements. This is a really fun way to explore graphic design. And then when you're done with your poster, you can go ahead and download it right over here at the top of the website. So the whole purpose of this unit is to talk about graphic design, and I felt that Padlock was a great way as an introduction and almost like a gauge how much a student actually knows. And I believe that it really gets the conversation started, and it helps them start thinking about what graphic design is, how it's used, how can I use it, what I've seen it in. And because it's a collaboration on Padlock, the students get to pull ideas from each other. Kahoot's a great way to explore a little bit further the student knowledge. I think it's a little bit of a break up from the typical traditional, like, okay, define graphic design. It's more like, okay, this is what the definition is. What is the word that correlates with it? And then there's some where there's pictures, and it's like, how is this color being used in this? So it's having them explore the elements. It's also a great way for me as the teacher to see what the students know, what we really need to talk about further. It's almost like an assessment of what they know and how we should gear the lesson. Canva is a fantastic graphic design program because it's user-friendly. It's definitely age-appropriate because we're in 4th grade. So the whole opening up Photoshop and doing Adobe Spark even is very complex. So this is very user-friendly, and there are already a lot of options for the students. And because technology is kind of the way that graphic design is going and keeps progressing towards, this makes it really important that you incorporate this technology into it so that students get an idea of how graphic design is being created. So I think if we did this with paper and pencil, it would lose a little bit of the actual idea of graphic design and the creation of it in today's world. Hope you enjoyed my lesson, and I hope the kids actually enjoy really doing this fun stuff on the tech tools.